but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole, on the other side of the South Pole, from Middle America. I tell you one reason they're interested. It's by far the most valuable, important place left in the world.
Throughout the long and difficult period of Watergate, I have felt it was...
Alright, Admiral Byrd and the Hollow Earth Theory. Scientists and humans alike have no idea what is actually in the center of our planet. I personally believe it's just like you would hear in the science books. You have your inner core, outer core, your lower mantle, your upper mantle, and the crust.
Liquid hot magma.
But we have absolutely no idea what truly lies beneath our Earth's crust. Alright, so who was Admiral Byrd? Born in 1888, he had a complete infatuation with aviation, and after serving in the First World War, he was quickly promoted in 1918 to lieutenant. He then, in 1919, created flight paths for the US Navy across the Atlantic Ocean. From there, he went on to be one of the most influential explorers this world has ever seen. He was even the first person to have 2 explorations going to the North Pole and South Pole by flight. So basically, in a nutshell, anything that this guy says, he is a reputable source.
We've found enough coal within 180 miles of the South Pole in a great ridge of mountains that's not covered with snow, enough to supply the whole world for quite a while.
This would be the logical and scientific explanation for all of this. I mean, Hitler and his Third Reich had numerous trips down to Antarctica to probably find resources for the war on their voyage. A lot of conspiracy theories around Hitler moving to Antarctica, having secret bases, could be true. They just seem unrealistic at best. As far as Admiral Byrd going down to the South Pole 2 times, that would be again the United States trying to get resources, untapped resources, uranium, coal, other things that they could benefit from. Now, how does this whole hollow earth theory come into play? It has been well documented that Admiral Byrd had taken detailed notes of pretty much every naval exploration or major thing that he had accomplished for the United States government. All these were released to the public during and after his death, but there was one that got released in 1996 that have people just scratching their heads. Alright, so I'm not going to read the entire log. It would take about 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. So I have a link below. You can read basically his entire log and what he had from memory. All preparations are complete for our flight north. We are airborne with fuel tanks at 0610 hours. Then he goes on to see a mountain range that he was unaware of with greenery, stuff that is not expected to be in Antarctica. He is then stopped and an unknown being comes up to his spacecraft and brings him to this underworld, the inner Earth, in this inner core world, and they communicate with him. He talks to one of the aliens. Have no fear, Admiral. You are to have an audience with the Master. And it has a lot to do with the United States, not just the United States, the world's involvement with nuclear weapons. It is a message to the United States government and the world that we should not have this technology and we are not competent or intelligent enough to know what to do with it, nor to have it. This was basically the entire message. Admiral Byrd felt very guilty not to release this information to the general public, but as you can see, loyalty means a lot to him.
What would you say was the most valuable factor on expedition?
Well, I've always thought that loyalty was by far the most important trait.
It got to be just too much. He wrote this entry in his diary, and he knew when he passed away, someone would release it to the public. It would be the right thing to do. Now, as far as believing this, This story, this diary is so far-fetched. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's fake. I don't know the source. So intuition would automatically tell you, this isn't the norm, this is fake. Personally, I am not 100% sure. I'm leaning more towards that it isn't real, but there's always room for error. There's always something that you thought you knew, but you really don't. Dark secrets. It wouldn't surprise me if an unknown species, the reptilians, the Nordics, somebody lived under or with us. Now back to the point, scientists and humans don't know truly what's at the core of our Earth. We can only dig so far. We can only have infrared and geothermal imaging so far into the Earth's crust. It could be anything. It could be water, it could be lava, it could be a civilization. There could be a portal. Instead of him going to the center of the world, it could have been a portal
to another dimension.
We're just not sure. There's so many possibilities to this theory, it's crazy.
So just as the long night of the Arctic ends, the brilliant sunshine of truth shall come again, and those who are of darkness shall fall in its light, for I have seen that land beyond the pole, the center of the great unknown.